Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are having story time. Everybody gather around and hear the story. You guys remember when you were like in elementary school and you went to like the library and the librarian or your teacher or whatever, you know, would read you a story? Why don't they tell me stories like this? This is a Mr. T and Me series storybook called The Silver Squawk Box. So I actually found this at a thrift store for 25 cents. Who would sell this for 25 cents? I pay the fool sell this for 25 cents. He looks like he's ready to come and punch this girl. I think that maybe she's playing the music too loud and he's like coming over there and he's like, hey, why are you listening to music so loud? You're making a racket in the neighborhood. Well, I've seen him, you know, obviously like in movies and stuff and TV episodes and whatnot, you know, of his, what's it called, the A-Team, and he was like B.A. Baracus or whatever. But I have seen him obviously, you know, in Rocky 3. I've seen him made some appearances in movies and stuff, but when you really, you know, kind of take the time to do a little bit of research on Mr. T, like his life, you know, how he grew up, even the reason why he named himself Mr. T is really interesting. So in tomorrow's video, I'm gonna be doing, you know, like 10, 15 things you didn't know about Mr. T. Wanna have Mr. T as your buddy right down the block or around the corner, ready to help you when you've got trouble, when kids make fun of you or somebody's pushing you around or forcing you to say yes when you want to say no. So this book was published in 1985 in the mid-80s. The Silver Squawk Box by blah 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 blah. Illustrated by blah blah blah. It was almost dark. I hid in the bushes outside the shopping mall. I watched the entrance doors. Suddenly, I heard yelling, "Stop! Thief!" I crouched down. My knees shook as I peered through the bushes. The yelling got louder. "Catch that girl! Stop her!" And louder. "Stop! Thief!" Uh-oh, Mr. Policeman. Mr. Policeman. What's that from? It's from Predator 2. Oh my god, I did really, really bad impression of King Willie. My best friend crashed through the doors. She carried a shiny brand new radio. It was long and silver colored. It had 2 huge speakers. It was the largest box I'd ever seen. Why is box in quotations? Don't they all know it's a boombox? When my friend reached my hiding place, I was ready. I caught the radio when she tossed it in my direction and ducked just in time. A guard ran out of the mall. "Stop that girl!" he yelled. He ran past the bushes after my best friend. Oh man, double teaming. My heart beat fast. My friend had promised she would share the box with me. All I had to do was hide until it was safe. I flattened myself on the ground. I would carry the big silver box to school. I would play it loud so everyone could hear. Then I would play it louder. I wouldn't advertise that. I waited a long time. Then I crept towards the back of the mall. I looked across the parking lot before I ran into the loading dock where I was supposed to meet my friend. It was dark and scary on the dock. I sat in the shadows with the radio. I was glad when I heard someone coming. I hope it's Mr. T. Teaches them a lesson and knocks them out. Oh, how did we know it was gonna be him? Where did he come from? Is he like Jesus? Is his nose? Is he like everywhere? "Over here," I whispered, but it wasn't my best friend. It was someone much, much bigger. It was someone much, much wider. It was someone with a great large shadow. It was Mr. T, and he saw me. So does everyone in this neighborhood know who Mr. T is? Why was he randomly here? "What are you doing here?" I croaked. I tried to hide the radio behind me. "I'm picking up my new TV," he said. "What are you doing?" I'm so sorry. This is a really bad Mr. T impression, but you know, people have to do the voices when they're telling stories and stuff, okay? I'm just leaving," I said. I grabbed the radio and jumped off the dock. Mr. T stopped me with one arm. "That radio's got a price tag on it. Looks brand new to me." I'm so sorry. I once again apologize for my really bad Mr. T impression. Okay, but how does he know that that girl didn't buy the radio? When you buy something, you don't necessarily take the price tag off it right away. So I think that's a little bit of a stretch. You know, Mr. T, to assume that she stole it? I don't know. Even if I am a girl, I don't like to cry. When I feel tears coming, why did she start crying all of a sudden just because he said it looks brand new? She could just be like, "No, I bought it. It's really fine. She can have an alibi. It's not like he knows she stole it yet." When I feel tears coming, I swallow hard. Oh, that was good. That was a good sound effect. Man, I like the illustrations in here. Pretty cool. I can't believe this is 45 cents. I didn't steal the radio. Exactly, I said. Then I explained about hiding in the bushes. See, I didn't take it from the store. Mr. T shook his head. Then he reached for the radio. I swallowed hard. Then he punched me in the face. No, I'm just kidding. I just made that up. But there came the tears, right on Mr. T's arm. Okay, no offense, but if like some random like big guy with wearing a whole bunch of jewelry came like talking to me like that, I'd be like, stranger danger, run! I'd actually run if I didn't really know who he was, but I guess she knows who he is. Mr. T ignored them. Instead, he lifted my chin with his thumb. You're no big wheel when you steal, little lady, he said. You're just a flat tire. I felt like a flat tire. Then I felt worse, like a tire with mud all over it. Oh, she feels dirty. I love this story. Why did my teachers, maybe that's when I was little. Mr. T handed me the radio. Ever heard of the commandment, you shall not steal? God meant what he said. I know he wants you to take this back. Okay, I feel like the more I practice, my Mr. T impression is getting a little better. I shook my head. No way, I can't, I'm scared. I'll go with you, Mr. T said. We'll go around to the back. Oh, she's learning a lesson. Damn, he's scary. Look, he's got like combat boots on and everything. Mr. T walked ahead with giant steps. I had to run to keep up. At the back of the stereo store, Mr. T knocked. The owner opened the door, and we stepped inside. I've come to pick up my new TV, Mr. T said. I hid the radio behind me. I looked at my feet. The owner stared at me. Go on, Mr. T said. You're doing the right thing. Oh, I feel like my Mr. T impression's getting worse now. I swallowed hard. That's a really good impression. I set the silver box on the floor. Does she not know what this is? This is clearly a radio, so I'm calling it a box, or like a squawk box. I'm bringing this back, I croaked. My radio, the owner exclaimed. But then he frowned. But you aren't the girl who took it. I told him the whole story. I thought he would call the police. He called my folks instead. Did the other girl get in trouble for stealing this radio? I sat down on a packing case to wait. I watched as Mr. T paid for his new TV. It was a special portable for his car. Okay, it's so specific. A special portable for his car? How specific can you get? Why can't it just be a normal TV? He lifted the set on one shoulder. On his way out, he stopped beside me. You're gonna remember what I told you about stealing? He asked. I nodded. No big wheel if you steal. Just a flat tire. Okay. I love this book. Mr. T's forehead crinkled as he leaned down. And just where can a flat tire go? He asked. Nowhere, we both shouted. Nowhere at all. This book is so cheesy. Mr. T put his free hand out as his face broke into a big grin. I reached out too, and we clapped hands with a loud slap. Nowhere, he shouted. Nowhere at all. Oh man, Mr. T, I love you, but this was such a cheesy book. A whole lesson was learned just because Mr. T said, do you remember the commandment? Thou shalt not steal? You're gonna be a flat tire. And like, the whole lesson was learned from that one sentence, and she felt remorse and regret and bad and everything from that one incident. It felt like it needed a little bit more, you know, kind of emotional moment, you know? Maybe like if he took her to a part of the neighborhood where like, look what happens when people steal, and it showed like a family that just got stolen and now they can barely get by in life. Like maybe a little bit of effort, but man, that ending was so cheesy. They're like, nowhere at all. Thank you so much for your amazing lessons. Being an example for like people, young kids, the community, everything. But no offense, but that book was really cheesy. I'm really upset that he didn't say, I pity the fool. You know, like he could have been like, I pity fool that steals, you know? I think that would have kind of tied everything together. So in the comments down below, please let me know if you guys knew about this Mr. T and Me series, you know, in the 80s. Did you guys ever read any of these? Any teachers or librarians read these to you? So please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I come with new videos every week. Come check me out on social media and help support the channel on Patreon. So thank you guys so much for watching, and stay legendary.